Easy Explain: The One Straw Revolution by Masanobu Fukuoka. An introduction. So first off, just a little bit on who Masanobu was. So he was born in Japan in 1913, and he died there as well, 2008. Japan through and through, although he was pretty well traveled throughout his very long life, if you do the math there. And he had a lot of jobs. I was reading a little synopsis about him, but he kept returning to farming, several times throughout his life, and it's where he ultimately landed. So much so that he created his own practice, which he called natural farming, and this brought him a lot of recognition, a lot of fame. People from all over were coming to study his farm, his practices, what he was doing, how he was generating the crop yields he was. So how to sum up what this approach was? What is natural farming? So essentially what Fukuoka was doing was he was taking Zen Buddhist practices and he was applying them to agriculture, and more broadly just thinking about how humans interact and relate to earth and food, the food that they grow, the food that they eat. And that's where he came up with this world famous practice, revolutionized farming. It also took on a nickname of do nothing farming, right? A lot of his students and people coming to watch him and see what he was doing, that's what they started calling his natural farming. They're like, oh, you don't do anything. But Fukuoka would correct that is not what he's doing. He's not quite doing absolutely nothing. There's a little more of a nuance to it than that, but that is the nickname it's earned. So really, we'll start to get a little bit more into the nuance now, and we'll throughout the playlist we'll definitely get deeper into it. But what he's really calling for is people just to think about how they're growing their food, and how to think about how that food is grown, as simply as possible, right? Maybe you can actually do a lot less to grow the same food. Think about what you should be eating, especially based on the time of year. Seasonal eating and what that looks like, and how you feel when you eat it, and where it's coming from, and how you acquire it. That's the bigger message coming out of natural farming here. I just wanted to end this introduction with a quote from Fukuoka that is from a section of his text that's addressed to his readers. I think it's a really great way to kind of set the stage here. So Fukuoka says, "The way of natural farming is forever uncompleted. Nature can never be understood or improved upon by human effort. In the end, to become one with nature, to live with God, one cannot help others or even receive help from them. We can only walk our paths alone." So coming out of studying Zen Buddhist philosophy, hopefully you're starting to see, at least some of the flavorings there from it. If not, we're definitely going to get more into it. We're going to look at his natural farming and practice and in principle. But for now, I hope this helps.